Hello, I'm Shantika. I'm a data analyst at Rise Higher Education, and today I'm in conversation with Joel, one of our alumni who is currently pursuing his master's from University of Massachusetts. So, Joel, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Joel, and I'm currently doing my master's in energy engineering in University of Massachusetts Lowell, and it's been a year. I have been doing my uh, master's, and now I'm doing research under one of the professors in my college.
Okay, so would you like to walk us through your application process and share some tips and tricks?
Yeah, so when I was trying to apply after appearing for GRE and IELTS, I came across Rise Education. Before that, I was just browsing universities where my course is applicable and how good is the college and what is the acceptance rate, and also these all things were quickly done by the this portal Rise Education. She gave me a list of Excel where all I can apply, how my score and my profile will be good enough, a good fit for the colleges, and like how much, how easy will it be to be there, how difficult will it be to be you be accepted in that college according to my score and my profile. A questionnaire for writing the SOP and LORs, which was also kind of good, and made my own draft for it, and then made changes with the team according to the college and according to the domain I am looking for. So it was pretty streamlined, as I guess.
So, do you also have any resources or tricks for the preparations for the standardized tests like GRE or GMAT?
Yeah, so there are free GRE exams that you should give. My one tip will be you will get two free GRE ETS official exams. Take one before even starting to study, or just started a few months, and then take one, and then take the next one at the last before your exam, so that you will know how much you will be doing, because that's the most standardized one and the official one. None of others will give you the same score, because that's what happened to me. I got almost a similar score what I did in my official test, and the rest, the grade that they give or the marks that they give is not official enough, because I was getting way higher in other tests which were free. But it's a good practice to do those, because in some the verbal will be very easy, but in some the point will be very difficult, which is not always the case. It's a adaptive exam in which if you answer all the correct answers, you will get a much harder section in the next one. So that's why the official ones are the best. And I also bought a few to be more precise on my score and know what I will be, because I wanted to take just once or twice the code. And also, some universities don't even need the GRE. IELTS is much more important to them, or TOEFL. So for those, it's just a month preparation. They'll get your book when you apply, when you pay the fees, and that is more than enough to study for it. You don't need any more resources for that.
How is the program going on at the university?
The program is very well. I had a dilemma before going to the course, but because I had a much better opportunity in Illinois, but still I chose this because it had a research outlook, and I was always thinking that if I want to ever do research, which is not the case right now, but if I ever wanted to do, I have an option. And the job opportunities are good. Almost all my fellow friends got internship, including me, but there was a hiccup in my CPT procedure, so I had to do research. But it's still good. Professors are very well renowned. They have the uh, labs if you want to do research on it, and funding is really good in the college. So I had taken the right choice. I know that.
Of course, you have. How was your experience as an international student? Is it any different?
Uh, well, I have been to the States a couple of times just to visit, but being a student was a bit difficult at first, because we don't, like most of us don't live in dorms. We try to see off campus housing, and which is the main crux of my spending. So analyze your spending well. You might be like, I won't spend that much, but when you are there with other students and other roommates or even alone, you might feel the urge to spend a bit more, having a bit better house. So uh, analyze it on yourself. I don't mind. I just mind to like have a room to sleep, and then I would go out to the university to study, and that will lessen my electricity or other bills, and pack my food early in the morning so that I be more like the most important thing would be the studies. And most of the time you can just stay at the university. They have places you can study, take meetings, take calls. So that is much better, what I used to think. But some of it's a personal experience everybody wants. If you want to live in a dorm, you can do that, but it's much costlier than a room off campus. So one more thing you can do before setting up university is seeing how the off campus rents or what is the other expenditures, and that is easily Google, like web, you can cross that easily, seeing in Google that how the expenditures will be, how are the groceries, how will you go, is it walking distance, or if there is other apps like Instacart or like Zomato we have all in India is the same as in US. So yeah.
Well, that's great. Actually, no one has till now given this much elaborated answer for financial aspects. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how are the opportunities different for international and domestic students in the university?
So on-campus jobs, there is for my college, I have seen there is a portal because it's a big university. So there are sections where like we can't. There is a free bus shuttle for us, so we can't do that unless and until we have a license for it. So I don't think international students are allowed to do that. But there are other jobs which are much better, like grading students or sitting in the library or a cafe, which you can do. And my college has a affiliation with a company named Aramark, where you can work as caterers officially, not illegally, just legal work. And then other opportunities, that's just like for internships and all. You There are some companies that don't allow international students. That's just special. It's a few, but other than that, everybody gets the same opportunity. What a student in the current state is, or what for us, because I have been working as a grader before this the whole semester, and then now I'm doing research. I'm surrounded by people who are even Indian or even other states or other countries like China or something like that. So it's the same opportunity in my university, and they don't be biased about these things. They are almost happy to take in any student which have the capability to do things. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That shows that you actually chose the perfect university.
Mhm.
So, how is your previous qualification or experience helping you in your current
Ye-
degree?
Yeah, so I did my bachelor's as a mechanical engineer for 4 years in Coimbatore. Then I was working as an engineer in a company named FEV. So it was strictly mechanical based, but I wanted to change my domain to renewable energy because I knew it was going to shift in a few years, which will be a big boom for me. And then knowing those concepts earlier, but as I'm in the course, I know the basics of mechanical is much needed, and even electrical and even computer science. So knowing all the domains a bit is is a good makes a good profile. I have seen my students, like my batchmates who have knowledge of computers, is much easier for them to grasp in the call in the university, where I have to learn more. But it's a learning curve. Everybody gets time to do that. It's just a week or so of classes, so you can learn on your own too. So my background was pretty much mechanical, and then I shifted it to
Okay.
renewable.
So can you explain the main focus areas within this engineering, energy engineering that you are studying at your university?
So it has multiple opportunities. Renewable energy has wind, from which you can produce energy, solar, geothermal, and even fuel cells, which was the main crux which I was doing before my job. I was doing a project in fuel cells, so I was more keen towards that. And they have a few courses. So it was mainly solar, but you can choose. You have your core subjects. you can choose according to that, other than the core subjects. So more mainly solar and wind is what this course gives, but I have changed my domain a bit. It still having the same major in the college.
Okay, so how do you see the role of renewable energy sources evolving in the future, and how does your education prepare you for this shift?
Yeah, so there are a few courses that give me a good opportunity to design a solar panel or design a solar system for a commercial or residential based solar, what we say. So even a home I can design. I have the that was a core course for me, which helped me a lot, getting internships, getting interview calls when I used to apply to them. Uh, Other than that, even in wind, we had a very good professor who was working with in a very great uh, company named General Electric, which is a big company in US. So they have kind of helped us going through. And if you want to go in any of the domain, they'll help you get connections, mostly through LinkedIn or through word of mouth, which helped a lot. Which helped a lot for my batchmates and me to get an internship in the summer or even jobs. So talking to alumni, I know they are having well-paid jobs that a data analyst or a CS guy gets.
Mhm.
So I know the market is still booming while in recession because we have seen getting people graduate and still getting jobs in our sector. Yeah.
Well, that's great. So the university, how much does the university plays a role in this internship or research
So
opportunities?
they have career fairs twice in the fall and in the spring, which gave around 10 or 20% of the students good opportunities. And then they have multiple networking sessions in which they'll call out companies of solar or wind or any renewable sector to network and communicate with them either on Zoom or on an event. And then you might get their LinkedIn, and then it starts from there. So you have to talk on your own. They will help you build that. There are courses in which particular course in which you can get a co-op or an internship for sure if you go in that. So those courses help a lot. They teaches you how to build your LinkedIn, how to build your resume, how to talk, how to do networking, how to sit in an interview, all that, all your body structure, give mock interviews. So they help a lot in these things, and they have connections, they have networking, they raise funds for those things. So it's pretty good here in my university, as I can say.
Okay, so are there any, or what were some of the challenges or obstacles that you have encountered while studying in this degree, and how have you been able to
Uh,
overcome them?
The main was solar is basically an electrical background thing. So for the first thing, when I was just applying, they all needed an electrical engineer, not a mechanical engineer. But the way I portrayed myself in the resume or in my interviews was like I have knowledge because I have been learning those things while in my course. So it was a bit difficult, but I learned and I kind of uh, try to understand what the electrical background is, even being a mechanical, because we know engineering is multidisciplinary. You even learn the physics behind electricals and all. So those were the challenges basically. But my alumni or my friends who have passed told me you can take this course if you are very low in that to know the basics, or you can learn on your own. And then it was a good help. Even professors used to help us because they know we are of different backgrounds. Some were not even mechanical, some were not even electrical, but still they want to do in solar. So they help a lot, giving sources, giving books, giving research papers to learn from. And then it was how you portray yourself in the future in your resume so that they will be able to take you as for an interview at least. Then it's on you always. Yeah.
Okay, so the professors were very helpful, and also you should. So you're saying that the professors are very helpful, and you should continue making connections with your alumni
Yeah.
and your friends and all of that. That's gonna help
Yeah.
you a lot of ways. Okay, so
Yeah.
can you share any interesting and innovative projects that you have worked on that have practical applications in the energy sector?
So one of our course was basically on you have to there were two projects in that. First was an individual one where I had to do the analysis of a state in US to start a solar company. So it required a due diligence of the state, how many companies are there, who are our competitors. That helped me towards the managing side or the sales side of those things. And then the major project was where we had to design a solar system more than 70 kilowatts, which was the main crux from which we all learned how to do the system, how to use the theoretical and the sums that we used to do in a practical design software, and then give the whole kind of proposal to our professor that we are four teammates as a four team in a company, and we are proposing our system to you, that this system will give this much kilowatt, which was either approved or denied by our professor. That was good. And now we have an end semester capstone project which is the same doing in any domain, giving them a project, giving them a proposal with financials and everything. So that gives us a good amount of experience in what a solar engineer does for a living. That was a good course that I would say. Yeah.
Okay, so Joel, what kind of career opportunities do you see for energy engineering graduates, and how are they different in India and in US?
So in the US, I see mostly solar engineers, PV design engineers that design systems for companies, and even consultancy and sales. If you are good in sales, you can go towards that in solar energy. It's a very high paying job. It gives incentives. But mostly when you are an engineer, you want to design stuff. So being a design engineer is a very good, mostly what they take, and consulting companies and clients that how much or what you want to do with your, so when a company comes that we want solar, so consulting them that how you can go towards it, what's your budget, knowing all that. If you don't want to go into solar, there are companies like manufacturers and wind manufacturers turbines that also do the design. If you want to go in the research sector or design sector, where you will design the wind turbine or design the solar panel or the system for your company, and the company will do the rest of the things. So other than that, in India, I have not been so keen, but in fuel cells or this, they will do the testing of solar panels. I don't see any more designers. They'll just teach them, because there are a very few courses for solar design, solar or wind or renewable energy in India with good colleges there. So that's the only difference I see. But now I've got to know that there are companies that need solar, because India is also going towards renewable energy as soon as possible, and then maybe there will be a need for those in India too. So if you don't want to stay here, you can grab an education and go back to India to earn that much.
Okay, so do you are you planning to bring your experience and knowledge back to India?
Yeah, mostly working and getting out of the money that I have spent here. If it's in God's grace, I'll get. If it's not planned that much, but I'm not so keen living here. I have been here many times, but I knew the education here was far better, because I have seen opportunities in India which were only in IITs or NITs, which was far difficult to get into. But I have no path like to come back to India or go to another country. But it's what is in that moment that I will feel after my 3 years of STEM. I'll see if I get an H1B, then I'll stay for a few years and earn more. If I get a better opportunity in India or in any other country, I'll go there. So I am not so keen in living in a place. I have no in like
Well,
mind over there.
I believe wherever you'll go, you'll bloom. So,
Yeah.
how do you see the integration of emerging technologies such as AI or blockchain in the field of energy engineering?
Uh, that's what we were worried about, because AI is kind of taking like helping getting to the financials, not the designing part, but the financials and how they can manage how much a consultant might not get like that many jobs, because AI can do that very easily. And there are a few integrations that are good also, like how much the testing of solar panels, which is helpful, that AI can be able to test it on its own, just giving a system and writing a code, so that you will be able to get the output how much it is, not going through the whole procedure of calculating it by hand, because some of the companies do that. But I have we have been told to learn a bit of MATLAB or coding so that we will be able to change uh, correctly in that domain or change properly in that domain of coding too if we have to do that. So yeah, and machine learning has basically most boom because machine will learn on its own when to give the output of what much output, how much input has to be given. You don't have to go do it manually, and machine can learn. So machine learning is a thing I think what I learned from my 1 year in solar. Yeah.
Okay, so they are teaching you machine learning as well.
No, you can take it as a elective. They don't mind, but
Okay.
it's particularly your choice. So we had MATLAB as
Mm.
maths in maths, and they taught us MATLAB and how MATLAB can help calculate things easily, writing a code. And now when I'm doing research, I'm doing Python also, learning scripts and how to make graphs easily because Excel is very low and you don't know how much Excel can do, but still Python and MATLAB might help a lot to do few things, run scripts and all. So
Well,
yeah.
today I believe Python and machine learning plays a very major role in today's generation in most of the fields. So I believe
Yeah.
doing that will help us in a lot of ways. So, what kind of impact do you hope to make in this field once you graduate?
Uh, Mostly I would like to go to a like when hearing about these things is you change the world, but making it break even because we are making also solar panels and I've known companies using solar panels to make solar panels, very old companies which have the capital to do that. So going into one of those companies would be far better so that I'm putting a very big impact rather than just making solar panels to power a house or power a commercial building rather than doing it a full cycle of doing it renewably. And other domain that I wanted to go is in green hydrogen, which is a very booming sector nowadays because using solar panels to make hydrogen because hydrogen is much better and always available because of water. So sometimes solar panels deteriorate, but hydrogen fuel cells don't. So there are much of advantages. So that would be a bigger impact, I guess. So, yeah, those.
Recently also heard that there was a air water created.
Yeah,
Yes, so a lot of things are, you know,
yeah.
in
It's
making things.
shifting a lot, so you
Yes.
don't know where it will go.
Yeah. Okay. So, lastly, what advice would you give to someone considering a degree in energy engineering in University of Massachusetts?
Uh, Talk to your alumni first. I had a very bad hiccup of not able to do the internship because I never knew that that course would help me get the CPT. I was on and also talk to the college, both of them, because they just changed it in when I was joined and no information was provided by the college for which they have talked to me a lot and told me it was a mistake by their end. And it's a mistake because it was not helping us only in immigration, not because they don't want to take that course. They were getting audited because of those things, but they wanted to rectify it. That's very good. And start connecting in LinkedIn as soon as possible to people, just asking them because people here are very helpful and they'll just talk and share their official research papers or whatever they are doing in work and try to get insights. Do you really want to do it? If you don't really want to do it and just want to earn money, then you can do any other course and you will be able to learn very easily. So this was what I got to use like late in my bachelor in my masters. And before you want internship, try applying 3 4 months before that. And even if you want to do research, if just by before joining you can talk to the professors if that you will have a on campus job before even starting your masters so that you can get an SSN and you can build your credit score, all that things. So and Facebook, if you want to get a good room or anything, Facebook is a very good place. You will get to know students having groups and WhatsApp groups to talk to them. And then seniors are really helpful, even though they have a taxing job, they still like to call and help us. One of our senior helped me a lot in a project where we were stuck. So I know they are helpful. So just talk to them and it will be good. Yeah.
Yes, communicating always helps. So, okay, well, that was it for today's interview. Thank you so much for joining us
Yeah.
and helping us in so many ways. I hope you achieve everything you are working
Yeah.
hard for.